Guys, I want to talk to you guys about a scarcity mindset. Okay, I thought this video was going to be long. I don't think it's going to be that long. It might be like 20 minutes or something like that, or maybe 10 minutes. But I want to talk to you guys about a scarcity mindset because God was telling me this the other day, and he was basically saying this is the blockages. This is the blockage for a lot of us. A scarcity mindset can also be passed down through family generations. A scarcity mindset is basically always seeing the negative in something rather than seeing the positive. A scarcity mindset alone is a lack of faith, okay? It's a lack of faith because you're always seeing the negativity in something rather than the positive. And when you have a scarcity mindset, do you guys know that can block your progression? That can block doors from opening for you. That can block you from getting closer to God by having a scarcity mindset. The Bible talks about be careful what you think in your mind, because what you think in your mind, you can manifest in the physical, right? The Bible also tells you that life and death is in the tongue, right? Having a scarcity mindset can allow you to speak the most negative things about yourself, about other people, and you can bring it into fruition. You can manifest that. That's why the Bible says be careful what you speak out your mouth. Even be careful what you think about. You guys notice that sometimes even spells are being done on you just by the thoughts of other people. They don't have to go and do a whole ritual to try to take you out, you know. They don't have to do a whole ritual just to block your day, you know. Just someone thinking negatively about you can block you. You get what I'm saying? That's called evil eye. That's called red eye. It talks about evil eye in Matthew. Okay, talks about jealousy in Matthew. A man that has evil eyes has a bad soul. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to remember something. A scarcity mindset, even if you may be a good-hearted person, but you can still have a scarcity mindset without even knowing you have a scarcity mindset because it was passed down. So let me give you some examples so you guys can really take a look at how these can block your life. Okay, for example, you see some church people, right? You see some pastors, apostles, and prophets, and most of the times, as children of God, when we see someone that's preaching or ministering, sometimes we tend to think the most negative things if we see that they have a successful life. Why? Because in the Bible, it always tells us that, money is the root of all evil and all of that stuff. But let me tell you something about that. It says money is the root of all evil. I get that. I understand that, right? But it's not the person, it's the money itself that can change the person. It's the person's mindset and what they choose to do with the money. Do you get what I'm saying? But you have to remember something too. Okay? Look at Job. Look at Esther. Although it says money is the root of all evil, look how prosperous Esther was. Did that change Esther's heart? No. Did that change Job's heart? No. God still blessed Job. Job was still wealthy. Do you see what I'm saying? Daniel was even wealthy. Even Joseph became wealthy. Do you see what I'm saying? But when you look at people who are preaching and worshiping and you see that they're successful, people instantly think they're a bad person, or they instantly think that they're only about money, or they instantly start to think that they're robbing the church or they're stealing from people and all of that stuff. And when you think these types of thoughts without knowing facts, that's a scarcity mindset. Because why? You don't know what this pastor, this apostle, you don't know what these people of God have been through. You don't know if God is blessing them after all that they've endured. Not everybody that's preached and shares their testimony. There's a lot of my testimony I don't even talk to you guys about yet because I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But if you guys heard some of the stuff I've been through, you guys would be like, whoa. Do you get what I'm saying? But because some people are just focused on what they have and what they're being blessed with, they instantly think they're greedy. They instantly think that they're stealing, they're taking from church people. Yes, there's some people that do that, but not everybody. See, because some people that do that, because of the some people that do that, you start to think everyone's like that. That's a scarcity mindset, because you start to focus on the little bit of people that do that, right? You block your own blessings by trying to assume everyone does that. Because what happens now is, instead of you watching your own pockets, instead of you watching, doing what you need to do for God to bless you, you're focused on someone else's blessing and why they have more, or you're focused on finding negativity, you know what I mean, to associate with that pastor, that apostle, whoever that's receiving prosperity, right? Let me tell you guys something. If you guys really do research, because some people are like, hey, Steph, there's pastors and preachers who are millionaires. They're not supposed to be millionaires. You have to understand something. Not everyone is a fraud. Not everyone is a fraud. Some people are actually being blessed from God. You get what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Yes, some people are frauds, okay? But you can't associate everybody with that. Let me tell you why. Do you guys understand when you have this type of knowledge and you look at this, when you look at things from a different point of view, when God actually speaks to you in that way, you won't judge everybody. And let me tell you why. Do you know the average millionaire has more than one source of income? Do you know an average millionaire has at least 5 to 6 sources of income? They don't rely on one income. So if you're seeing someone that's ministering at a church, do you think they minister at the church every day? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, but do you not think that they may have some money in the stocks? They may have flipped houses in real estate. Don't you think that they may have other resources that's bringing in income, that God may have blessed them in other areas? I told you guys plenty of time before that God won't just bless you in the area of the church or the area of prophetic or the area of ministering. God will bless when you are following God and you have that relationship with God. God is going to tell you where to invest your money. God is going to tell you how to build generational wealth. God is going to tell you how to help your legacy, how to build your legacy for the next generation, to break generational curses. God is going to teach you a lot of the gems to keep you on a level that can change your next generation. That's how God is gonna bless you. You see what I'm saying? But because a lot of people have a scarcity mindset, they instantly think because someone that preaches and ministering is successful, that they're stealing, that they're greedy, not realizing that they may only get 10% out of what's being given to the church, or they may only get 5% out of it, and everything else may go towards charity. Everything else may go towards other things. You see what I'm saying? But because these people are not going to come to you and tell you specifically where they're spending their money, because it's nobody's business, people are going to assume the worst. But let me tell you something. If you have that mindset and you instantly think the worst, you know what that does? You know what that does? That proves something to God. That proves something to God. It tells God that not only are you being judgmental, but it's also proven that you have no faith in your own life, and that you have no faith when it comes to your own success and your own progression, your own growth, and you don't trust God enough to bless you, because that's why you're so focused on someone else's blessings, right? It also says you're very negative in a sense. You know what I mean? Because you're not really, what you're doing is you have a scarcity mindset by doing that. Instead of saying, maybe they invested somewhere else, maybe until God proves you otherwise, maybe they invested somewhere else, or, maybe they just, God is really blessing them. Maybe they've been through some stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe that God wants them to be on that level. Instead of saying that, most people would prefer to think negatively about that. And then you know what it is? Deep down, it's really jealousy. Deep down, it's really envy. But not everyone wants to admit they feel this jealousy, they feel this envy, so they want to assume the worst about other people rather than reflecting on themselves and realizing, man, there's something I got to work on within me. Why am I feeling this way? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's not just about preachers and this is about in general. This is everybody, even like YouTubers. People see YouTubers and they instantly think, oh, you're greedy, you're this, you're that. And because they live a specific lifestyle, but not everyone has one source of income. Some people have multiple sources of income. Some people are like, oh, you get ads on your videos and you're not supposed to because you're a child of God. How do you not know that the person that's receiving ads on their video, how do you not know that they're putting that towards a charity? Or they're giving back to other people that's less fortunate? You don't know that. That's the thing. You cannot that's a scarcity mindset when you instantly think the worst about someone without even knowing. Another form of scarcity mindset is focusing on the appearance of others rather than yourself. A lot of the times when people talk bad about someone else's appearance or someone doing this or doing that, it's because they're not happy with themselves. A person that is happy with their own life, a person that is happy with the way they feel about themselves, a person that is happy with how they look, would not have to focus on the appearance of someone else, would not have to focus on someone else's pockets, would not have to focus on someone else's success when you're happy with yourself. That's a form of scarcity mindset, because scarcity mindset is also being competitive. If you have a YouTube channel or whatever you're doing in your life, if you're focused on someone else's views and you have to go and tear them down to bring more views to your channel, because that happens a lot. When people want attention, they talk badly about another YouTuber so then they can steal those other people's YouTube subscribers, or so that, you know what I mean? That's a scarcity mindset. That's competitive. When you have a scarcity mindset, you're competitive. When you don't have a scarcity mindset, you're abundant. Okay, that's the difference between scarcity mindset and abundance. Okay, when you think the positive rather than the negative about someone else's life or situation, you attract more positive in your life than negative. Why? Because the life and death is in the tongue, and you got to be careful what you think about in your mind. And God knows what you're thinking in your mind. So if you're negative on just the negative, you can block yourself. You can literally block your own blessings by doing that, because of the way you're thinking and the way you're speaking. And sometimes it's best to just, when you don't know the answers to something, that's why I always tell you guys, I don't judge people. You know why? Because I don't want to be corrected from God. Because when I get corrected from God, I don't feel good when I get convicted. Okay, I don't feel good. Okay, I don't judge people, because you don't know someone's life behind the scenes. You don't know what they've endured. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with like jealousy is a part of scarcity mindset. Being jealous of what someone else has and envying them is what can cause your own blockages. You see what I'm saying? It's definitely can cause, instead, like, you have to know the difference between a scarcity mindset and abundance. Abundance mindset is, if they can do it, I can do it too. You know what I mean? You know, oh, she's beautiful. She doesn't need all that makeup, but maybe she wants to wear it because maybe it makes her feel better. It's not my business. I don't need it, so I'm not gonna wear it. You get what I'm saying? It's like thinking positively about a situation rather than negative. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe they're successful because they've been through a lot and God is just blessing them. But I know God will bless me too, just like he blessed them. You know what I mean? Or maybe their views on YouTube is going up because maybe they put in a lot of work, or maybe God is doing something in their life, you know, and it'll be my turn, it'll be my season soon. Instead of being negative. Do you get what I'm saying? And when you have negative intentions, that is negative. That's coming from the heart. That's coming from within. And that's something that God doesn't like. And people will often mask negativity with validation. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, let me give you an example. Someone can be jealous or someone could be envious, and they will say something bad about someone and try to validate why they think this way about the person, although the person doesn't deserve it. And in the process of doing that, they'll get other people to agree with them to validate their feelings inside, when they know deep down in their heart that they're doing it out of a jealous and an envious motive. Right? But nobody else would see that. Do you get what I'm saying? So they try to find ways to kind of mask it up and cover it up so everyone can agree with them, so they don't feel as bad. They don't feel like they have to change anything. God knows the true intentions of the person before the person got validation from others. God knew the true intentions. So if you do that and you try to mask it up, you blocking your own blessings by doing that. If you guys wonder sometimes why people are blessed and you know, and you're not getting any blessings, it's not that God's not gonna bless you. It's because sometimes it's the scarcity mindset, and sometimes it can pass on through family generations, where it may not even be these specific topics, but it may be as simple as, you know, I'll never get to go on vacation one day. You know, I'll never have the life. I'll never get a job. Or my life sucks. You know what I mean? Or my family's built from poverty, so I'm always going to stay in poverty. That's a scarcity mindset. You have to switch the way you think and be like, you know what? I want more out of life. That's why most of the times the chosen ones get picked on, because the chosen ones are the ones that always want to break a generational cycle. The chosen ones are always the one that want more out of life, because when you know you're walking with God and you know you're just different. Remember, God says he doesn't want you of this world. When people say, you know, now, when people hear not being of this world, they instantly only think material things. And that's not the only thing God is talking about. When God is saying you not being of this world, he's also talking about you not feeling like you belong here. There's a reason why the chosen ones feel like they don't even belong in the world. Why do you have that feeling in you that you don't belong there, or you can't get along with nobody, or you can't be around other people, or for some reason you feel like you don't fit in? Why? Because you are not of this world. If you were of this world, you would feel like you fit in. There's a reason why you feel like you don't belong, because you're not of this world, right? So most of the times a chosen person that feels like they're not fitting in, they get picked on because they feel like they deserve more. They feel like they want more out of what they're used to seeing. They don't want to go through what their moms and dads and other generations go through. They want more. That means they have you know what that means? If you feel like that, you have an abundant mindset. You have an abundant mindset, more than a scarcity mindset, but you may have other traits in a scarcity that can actually block your abundance mindset. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to release all these other traits that you have in that scarcity category in order for you to be more in that abundance category. And then what happens is God will bless you even more. You know how much times I was in positions where I could have gave up? I could have said, I'm done with this. I give up. And then I have to snap out of it, and I have to speak life in my life. I got to speak life and blessings from my tongue, because I know God is watching my tongue. You know what I mean? It has to come from the heart. I got to be like, you know what? That person could do it. I could do it too. When I see people on Instagram succeeding and they're not boasting or anything, they're very humble, but I see success, I start to feel like I'm elevating too. I start to feel like, wow, you know what? They can do it, I can do it. And I smile when I see good things happen to people. I smile and I feel this joy from within me when I see it. And because I have that feeling in me, I notice that God blesses me more. I notice that people that have low-key hate and they end up, removing themselves from people who are succeeding and they have low-key hate, I always notice that they're kind of stuck in the same place because they're not breaking that scarcity mindset. You have to train yourself, keep training yourself, and it will come naturally. Do you get what I'm saying? It takes time. It will come naturally. You got to say to yourself, you know what? Yes, I may live in poverty right now, but I'm going to get out of it one day. And I'm going to fight to get out of it one day. I know for a fact because I know I'm chosen. I know I deserve more. You know what I mean? Rather than accepting it. Don't accept it. Don't accept what you feel like you don't deserve. That's the problem with us, is we accept what we feel like we want to deserve, and family can push us to accept what we feel like we deserve. That's when people speak stuff to us, sometimes we believe it more. We believe the negativity more than the positive. That's a scarcity mindset. It's like they're projecting their scarcity mindset onto you, and then you start to believe it, and then you remove yourself from that abundance mindset, that abundance category, and you keep yourself more in that scarcity mindset. And that's what you want to avoid doing. Okay? You want to know what another scarcity mindset is? And I see this a lot. All men are the same. All women are the same. The same people that speak this out their mouth are the same ones that are going to keep attracting these types of men and these types of women. If you say, you know what, yeah, I've been through some rough relationships, but I know God has somebody out there for me. I know God has someone that's going to love me and cherish me and treat me like a queen or treat me like a king. God's going to give you that. You think God's going to bring a man in your life that's king status, that has a good heart, if your mindset is all men are the same? No, because then you're going to damage that man. Your mindset alone you're going to damage that man. If you have that mindset and you get into that relationship, now you're making that man feel insecure when he's trying his best to love you, when he's trying his best to be there for you. Same with women. It's like if you think all women are the same and you go into a relationship with that mentality, now that woman has to suffer because of the other relationships you've been in. You get what I'm saying? And God doesn't feel like that woman deserves that. So you're going to attract the same types of women and men in your life. If you say, I know God has someone out there for me, it's going to happen. You're going to find that right person. A scarcity mindset is what I mainly see with this whole red pill community. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get deep into that because that's like, no, I don't want to get into. But I see a lot of men with scarcity mindsets that follow red pill community, and they think all women need this or that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you actually think differently, you may attract a real queen. Do you see what I mean? If you think differently, you may attract a real king. You know? And I noticed that since I started thinking differently, got myself out that scarcity mindset, the kind of I already have a kingdom husband, but the kind of men I've been getting attention from men, which I don't purposely try to get, the kind of men that are attracted to me are good men. Where in the past I always had the negative kind of men attracted to me. Now I notice a lot when I'm even on vacation and go places, a lot of the good men are attracted to me because my mentality has changed. The way how I think is different. I have a more of an abundance mindset now than a scarcity mindset. I see things differently. I see things out the box. I don't stick in the box like everybody else, and that's my point. I want you guys to start thinking outside the box. When you have Christ with you, God doesn't want you thinking inside the box, especially if you're a chosen one. Why are you thinking inside the box for? That's where everybody wants you to be, inside the box. That's why it may feel like you're chosen, but you may feel stuck because you have certain things you got to break in your life. You have a scarcity mindset in certain areas that you have to break. I remember one time a woman messaged me and she was saying like a lot of negative stuff about herself. Like, I'm never going to be this in life. Da, 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 da. And I couldn't reply to her because the way how I felt was when she said all that, I felt that spirit of doubt jump onto me. It started it kind of shifted my mood and made me start to feel down just seeing her write all that. And then I took some time away, and then I went back to respond days later. And that's when I told her, you have to change the way you're thinking, because the way that you're thinking is what's blocking you. You know what I mean? And when she said, okay, I'm going to do that, guess what happened? She replied to me that she just got a job, and she's been waiting for a job for months. So she changed her mindset, her job came in. Do you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes God doesn't want you going into a situation with a negative mindset, because now you're going to affect those who have already done the work to get out of that mindset, and then you may affect those people just with your attitude and the way you think. right? Form of a scarcity mindset is always criticizing rather than praising or embracing. Always criticizing yourself, always criticizing your life, always criticizing other people. Let me ask yourself this question. Are you more of a criticizer? Are you more someone that criticizes someone rather than seeing the positive? You know what I mean? There's people that watch my channel just to criticize me. Literally, it's not to learn the message of God. It's not to hear the word. It's not to, see, wow, you know what I mean? Like she's growing in Christ, compared to where she came from. Whoa, she's really growing. They only watch it to criticize and to write negative comments. And then here's how you know, because when they get blocked, they still come back. Although they can't type, they still come back. If you have to keep coming back to someone's channel and you don't even like them, but you continue to criticize them, that's a scarcity mindset. That's you blocking your own blessings. Let's keep it real. That's you blocking your own blessings. Because a person that, that's embracing someone and you're just like, you know what, I see where you came from. I'm proud of you, girl. Like, yeah, you got some work to do, but you're growing. I can see Christ working with you. Or, yeah, this word is good. You know what I mean? The person that does that, that's someone that wants to learn. That's someone that wants to grow. That's someone that has an abundant mindset rather than a scarcity mindset, because they're more focused on the words. They're more focused on the message. They're more focused on, what they can learn, the knowledge, rather than, oh, she has weave in her hair. Oh, she has a wig. Or, oh, sister, you shouldn't be wearing that. Or brother, you shouldn't. You get what I'm saying? That's when you more criticize and you actually seeing the positivity of the situation. That's a scarcity mindset. That, like I said, that can block you. Okay, because not everyone is perfect, and I guarantee there's some things in that person's life that they need to work on that they're ignoring because they're so focused on criticizing another person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that have that religious spirit is a scarcity mindset. Like the Pharisees had a scarcity mindset, right? Instead of them seeing Jesus's miracles and really just taking in what Jesus is actually doing and helping people, they were more focused on criticizing him for healing a man on a Sabbath day rather than actually saying, you know what, that he's doing something positive on a Sabbath day. He's healing somebody on a Sabbath day. That's beautiful. You see what I'm saying? Like he's changing someone's life. Like he's helping someone be able to see, be able to walk again. Like he's really doing wonders. They thought more negatively than positive of the situation. That's a scarcity mindset. This is why Jesus was so blessed. Why I think his disciples were so blessed. A lot of the disciples that chose to follow God and not chose to stay with their families and they chose to come out of that scarcity mindset. Hence why they were all abundant. Hence why God blessed them with gifts. All of God's disciples were blessed with some type of gift. You see what I'm saying? God even gave them the opportunity to preach. God gave them the permission to preach and to minister and to cast out demons, right? Why? Because they chose to follow God. So them following God, they received some sort of reward because they had a more abundant mindset. They wanted more out of life than to just be stuck and just to stay in the same place. They're like, listen, if God is choosing me to follow him, there must be something more out there for me. I'm not about to settle. And they chose to go towards an abundance rather than staying in the scarcity mindset. There's those that God wanted them to follow him, that chose to stay back based on fear. Fear is a scarcity mindset. Based on fear, based on doubt, that's a scarcity mindset. Based on lack of faith, scarcity mindset. You see what I mean? So once you break all that out your life, you'll see changes. Like I said, the way how you change that, guys, is focus on the things how you see things. Focus on how you see things, okay? And you got to shift it in that moment. Instead of, you look in the mirror and you may be like, oh my gosh, I have a big nose. Or I have weird eyebrows. Instead of saying that, like, you know what? God, thank you for giving me this nose. I really like my eyes, God. Thank you. I like my eye shape, Or you know what, God, I don't have a lot right now, but I'm sure you're going to bless me in the future. I'm going to work with what I have right now, and I'm going to make the best out of it. Man, all I have is ramen noodles inside my cupboard. I'm going to make the best ramen noodles meal tonight. I'm put me some scallions in there, some onions and tomatoes in there, and I'm going to make a bomb stir-fry ramen noodles today. Instead of just focusing on, I don't got this, I'm never going to make it, I'm never going to that. That's how you keep yourself stuck. Okay, the devil wants you to think like that. The devil wants you to block your own blessings. That's why the devil always tricks us. He puts us in doubt. Why do you think the devil sends spirit of depression, spirit of anxiety, and all of that upon us? Because when they mess with your mind, when the devil messes with your mind, when I say they, I'm talking about the devil, the witches and the warlocks. When they mess with your mind, that keeps you in a scarcity mindset, that keeps you down. So you're unable to really elevate. You're unable to really focus on an abundance mindset if you're consistently focused on the negativity. Why I think I said sometimes the distractions are allowed. You got to remove yourself from the distractions in order for you to actually focus on God, for you to actually come out of that and to move forward and elevate. Why? Because when the distractions are allowed, you can hardly hear God because you're so focused on trauma. You can hardly hear what God needs you to do next. When you remove yourself, the only thing you're mainly focused on, you may focus on the trauma you've already endured, but then now you're like, God, what's the next step? You're focused on more the next step. Remove yourself from all distractions. Remove yourself from people who have that scarcity mindset. People who are not ambitious, who don't want to work, who never talk positive. They're always criticizing. They only want to gossip. You see what I'm saying? They don't have any potential. Like, you'll know because it's kind of like you'll feel like they're sucking the life out of you. When you're around them, you don't feel ambitious. You know what I mean? When you're around them, you feel like you're going downhill. You'll know. And then when you remove yourself from them, you'll notice that you have more freedom. Your thoughts are different. When you start hanging around people who have more of an abundance mindset, you see, if you're not a jealous person, and you have to get rid of that jealous spirit before you even start moving around people with an abundance mindset, because they'll catch on quick that you have a jealous spirit and they'll drop you like a fly, like for real. You know what I mean? Or God will remove them from your life fast, and you'll block your own blessings that way, because sometimes God will bring you in a successful person's life to help elevate you, to teach you, to give you wisdom and knowledge. I had friends around me before that were cool with me when I wasn't in a good place, but as soon as I started elevating, all of a sudden there was a jealous spirit, and I felt it, and God had to show it to me. And guess what? God had to remove them from me, and God literally told me that friend or those friends blocked their own blessings because it was through you. I was going to bless them through you. I was going to use you to teach them how to start their business, or how to save, or how to invest in their business, or how to get the business to the next level. Or I was going to use you to teach them how to start their YouTube channel. I was going to use you to teach them certain things. But because of the jealousy, scarcity mindset spirit, what happened was they blocked their own blessings. So you have to get yourself delivered from these spirits before you start going around people who are actually elevating, or you're going to feel some type of way. When you know that you're clear of the scarcity mindset and that jealous spirit, you can be around people who are elevating and not feel jealous and not feel some type of way. If anything, you feel more happy for them. If anything, you want to learn. You feel more hungry to learn now because they're learning. You get what I'm saying? So you have to know the difference. Another thing is a scarcity mindset. Most people with scarcity mindset, let's keep it real. A lot of the people who are affecting you with rituals and who are doing spell work on you and who are trying to keep you sick, they have a scarcity mindset. You know how? Because if they were more focused on elevating, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. If she can find love, maybe I can find love too. If she can get married, maybe I can get married too. If she's breaking our family generational curse, I can break a curse too. Instead of them focusing on that, they would rather try to block you. Why? Because they don't have that. They don't have that faith. They don't have that ambition, and they don't have that progression. They don't have that ambition. Okay, and because they don't have that same ambition, they're so stuck in a scarcity mindset to the point where the devil has now binded them. They don't even understand that they're binding themselves by continuing to try to stop you guys, by continuing to do the rituals. They're actually binding themselves even more. They have a scarcity mindset, because if they never had a scarcity mindset, they wouldn't be bothering you. They wouldn't be focused on your life. They wouldn't be focused on stopping your progression. They'd be focused on trying to figure out how they can progress too. They'd be focused on other things. They'd be focused on getting themselves saved. You know what, God, I want my soul saved so I can elevate like him or her. God, I need you to save me from these spirits. But you know what it is? Because they're so heavily into the scarcity mindset, they don't know how to get out because the devil has trapped them in. They continue to do this stuff. When you have to do spell work, even if it's just a love spell to get someone to like you, that's a scarcity mindset, because you don't have enough faith to think that somebody can love you for yourself or love you for you, or you don't have faith in God that he's going to bring the person or the right person in, that you have to do a whole love spell to make someone like you, or a whole spell to break someone up. That's a scarcity mindset. That's how you block your own blessings. Okay, so you guys have to know the difference between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset. If you want to know, go online and look it up. Go on Google and look up what is a scarcity mindset, what's an abundance mindset. Honestly, I had no idea too much what it really was until God said it to me. He said scarcity mindset, and I was laying down and I was sleeping. I'm like, scarcity mindset? And then I kind of figured out what it was without looking, and then I had to look. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. And that's what's blocking a lot of people. You can be chosen and still have that, and then that blocks you from reaching your goals because you have that mindset. Break that generational cycle. Break it now. Okay? Break it now.